because I'm getting upset. And I really shouldn't be getting upset by this because it's not like I'm surprised by it. But hey, it's Fine Girl Time, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you were already subscribed, that means that you are already a fine girl. So welcome back, fine girls. So today, let's get into Chrisean Rock, okay? Let's take mini sips. Last year, I made a mini documentary on Chrisean Rock. So if you have no clue who Chrisean Rock is, make sure you watch that video so you can be all caught up. Now, if you already know who Chrisean Rock is, stay on this video, all right? Stay on this video and you can like it while you're here, okay? Because I don't want you to forget. So make sure you like it. Thank you. But yeah, so last year I made this mini documentary on Chrisean Rock. It took off. Somebody age restricted it once it got a good bit of likes. And so, yeah, that is what it is. So I also want to say that that documentary was not to feel sorry for Chrisean Rock, but it was more so to show what happens when someone doesn't love themselves, when they put a man before their own well-being, and more so like a cautionary tale, and what led to her not really loving herself and what really led her to not loving herself, and just to show you the environment that she grew up in. And I also wanted to show what the future looks like when you don't love yourself, and where you'll end up if you continue the antics. Those antics between her and Blue are just, it's very exhausting, it's energy draining. It's just, honestly, I'm tired of seeing them going back and forth on Twitter. It's annoying. But of course, I have to let y'all know my take. I wanted to watch them for a while because I feel like with them, it's never just one post and that's it. It's usually like this person, then this person, then this person, then the other person responds, and the other person responds. And like usual, it's a saga. So I just wanted to like wait it out for a while and see how everything played out, their responses to certain things. And just as I predicted in this toxic relationship, she brought a baby into this toxic situation between her and Blue. And not only did she not get mental help, she continued to not love herself, and she doesn't love the baby. She is just stuck with this baby. That's what I feel like. It's essentially I feel like this baby for her is a prop baby that can generate more money for her, more of a storyline for her. And it's a battle baby because she's always in this competition with Jaden Alexis, Blueface's first baby mama, because she used to talk about that girl so much, said she would never be like Jaden Alexis, and now look at her here with Blueface's baby. Now, what is a battle baby? I feel like a battle baby is, have you ever heard some of those girls, they'll say like, some girls will try to hold it over the head of another girl that she has a baby with some nincompoop. Yeah, so they'll try to hold that over someone's head or make it seem as if they're better than someone else because they have someone's baby. Well, that's what I call a battle baby. It's like a get back baby. That's what I feel like Chrisean's baby is. Now, I'm not saying that Chrisean doesn't love her baby at all, but first of all, Chrisean doesn't know what love is because she didn't really grow up in a loving environment, a healthy loving environment, and she doesn't love herself. And we'll talk about that some more too. And so how is she gonna love this baby if she still doesn't love herself and she continues to put Blueface first, even above the baby? So it shows you don't love that baby how you should love it. But we'll go into that more later. And I know a lot of people have talked about like, oh, she loves her baby, she always has that baby around her, she always has that baby around her. Well, this is just my opinion, but I feel like you can have a baby around you and you not necessarily love that baby. So for example, Chrisean, it doesn't seem like she trusts the people around her, understandably so. So first of all, why do you have those people around you? And secondly, that's why the baby is around her, because she doesn't trust anyone else with it. Now, I'm not saying that she doesn't love her baby at all. I'm just saying she is not equipped, or it doesn't seem like she's taking the initiative to become equipped to be the mother that a baby should have. And another thing, I feel like love is not just words, it's not just providing for a baby, because that can show love too, but it's also actions and initiative. So taking the initiative to research the information that you need to be the best mom that you can be. Does it mean you're going to have the answers to everything? No, because there is no instruction manual to be a parent, and every child is different. So no one expects Chrisean to be perfect, but it is expected that she would do research to find out what she can do to be a great mom to this child, how to carry on throughout her pregnancy. Those are cautious choices that she could have made in the beginning that she did not do, and it's documented that she didn't do those things. So she constantly talks about how she has money. Well, because you have money, that means you also have access to resources that could help you and give you more information that other people might not have. And even if, let's say, she didn't have her money, there is a what to expect during pregnancy book. It is not crazy expensive. That's something that she could have done. And she knows that she should not be drinking or smoking while pregnant. She knows that. That's why she tried to hide that. So the fact that someone tries to hide things, it shows that they are well aware of what they're supposed to be doing, but they're just choosing not to. And that's really unfortunate for the child. And once again, that's her caring about herself, not loving herself, and definitely not loving that baby. So despite Chrisean's 3 previous abortions, she reluctantly gave birth to a little baby boy. The little baby boy that she created with Blueface, name is Chrisean Jesus Malone. Now, I know everyone's calling this baby Chrisean Jr., but it's really been like annoying me. And it's not a huge annoyance. It's just like, have you ever driven and you see somebody smoking a cigarette and then they little plug their cigarette into like outside the window, and it has nothing to do with me at all and it doesn't hinder my day, but it just really annoys me that people flick their cigarettes outside of the window into the street. Okay, it's something very small, right? But it still kind of like annoys me a bit. And that's how I feel about this Junior situation, because Chrisean Rock's middle name is not, it's not Jesus. So they aren't Junior, but I get where they're going when they're calling it Junior. I just think it's really weird that they keep calling it Junior, but it's not really a Junior. Chrisean Jr. isn't really a Junior, but we're not going to spend too much time on that because that's more of like, it's not huge and it doesn't, I don't know. It's just something that annoyed me, and I'm just kind of curious, did it annoy other people? I think it's a really cute name, like for a boy or a girl. Like I always thought Chrisean was a pretty name, but he's not a Junior. So, but I get where they were going with that. Chrisean Rock's beautiful baby boy was born September 3rd on Instagram Live in front of thousands of people. Not only was Chrisean Rock surrounded by her fans through her Instagram Live, but she was also surrounded by family. And in the Instagram Live, you could hear her loved ones screaming to Jesus himself and God Almighty that Chrisean Rock brought this beautiful baby boy into the world. Although Chrisean Rock was surrounded by family, Blueface was nowhere to be found. He was busy in Miami with his first baby mama, Jaden Alexis. And no one was really surprised by it, considering the whole pregnancy and for previous pregnancies, Blueface has always said that he has never wanted a child with Chrisean Rock, and he had always said that you need to A-word that baby. And he was saying, that baby ain't mine. That baby ain't mine. So it's no surprise that he was not very supportive of the situation and wasn't there when Chrisean had the baby. Blue was also very adamant about not wanting a baby with Chrisean, and he was also very vocal about not wanting to have a baby with Chrisean. Like Blueface has always said that he did not want to be with Chrisean, and Chrisean would always say, oh, well, he doesn't say that when it's just me and him. When he's in the public, he says one thing, but when he's with me, he says another thing. Whenever someone gives you mixed emotions, that's a sign to leave, okay? That is a sign to leave, and that person does not like you that much, because it would not be that confusing if someone really wanted you. If someone really wanted to have a child with you, you would know. There would be no confusion at all. But then again, like Chrisean, she didn't want the baby herself, but we'll talk about that later. So boom, the baby, Chrisean Jr. is born, and day one, he has an Instagram. As of making this video, this sweet little baby has 1 million followers on Instagram. and he is only 26 days old. Of course, Chrisean was talking about Blue not being around, which is, no one is surprised. I honestly don't know why Chrisean is surprised at this, but she is not all the way there. Like I have been saying for the longest, the girl is not all the way there. You cannot judge someone with logical lenses when that person is not all the way there. Now, can you hold the person accountable? Definitely, definitely. But you can't really be surprised by what they do because they're not all the way there. While she was talking trash about Blueface, she also talked about, oh, I'm done with Blue. I'm done with Blue. And it's just so... It's very cynical at this point. She keeps talking about the same thing. She says, I'm done with Blue. I get with Blue. I'm done with Blue. I get with Blue. Done with Blue. She gets with Blue. Well, she claims that she's done at this point of our story. She says she's done with Blue. Now, a lot of people are cheering at this point because they're really hoping that she is done with Blue. People, they thought because she had this baby that she would change, and oh, this baby is going to make Chrisean a better person. And that's a lot of responsibility to put on a baby, and that's not that baby's responsibility to make that person a better mom. Because honestly, if they weren't, like, if they didn't, and I'm not saying this is the case for everyone, but if there are certain things when it comes to caring for humans in general that would, I feel like, would be intensified after you have a child that was not shown in Chrisean Rock. Okay, but that's just my opinion. You can put what you think in the comment section, okay? Okay, so then basically a week later, we see Chrisean Rock post a picture of baby Chrisean and Blue, and the two of them were sleeping, baby Chrisean and Blue. So Blue was, I guess, on a bed, and he had little Chrisean on his chest, you know, the typical we're sleeping pic. So yeah, they had a picture like that. And honestly, when I saw this, I was thinking, okay, I feel like he definitely smashed. One, because she only cares about Blueface, and it just, these people annoy me, and I know they're doing it on purpose. That's what's so annoying. Like, they include us in their group text because they want the clout. They're I was about to say allergic. They are addicted to the clout at this point, and even before. So whatever gives them more clout, whatever shakes up the internet, they're gonna do it. Definitely, it was giving I Came Back, because people always try to go back to their baby mama for pum pum, and then they carry on about their life. Well, I don't know from experience, but you know, from what I hear, I watch TV. I have cousins. But for me, when she posted this, I just figured it was, because y'all know, I felt like this baby was a battle baby, a get back baby, because she has always talked about how, you know, she don't want to be like Jade and Alexis. She got all these A words to get rid of whans. So she had a baby because she, you know, it would have messed her up down there if she were to have if she were to not have the baby. So she went ahead, she had the baby, right? Posting this picture, I feel like so because she already had a battle baby, I feel like she posted that picture to get back at Jade and Alexis, because she and Jade and Alexis and Blueface are always going back and forth at each other. And I mean, Blueface, he just gets off at that. Like, the two of them being mad, going back and forth like that over him, it makes him feel like more of a man. I just saw her as her trying to dig into Jade and Alexis, or dig at Jade and Alexis, because they've been going back and forth, basically ping-ponging Blueface at this point. They all are immature, they're all petty, and they're all stupid. Alright, so Chrisean Rock, she just had this little baby, and instead of being inside of the house, she is everywhere but inside of her house. She's at her brother's football game, she's in studios, she's in music videos, well, at the gas station creating music videos. And when I saw this, I felt like Blue has always said how he felt about Chrisean Rock, or more so how he doesn't feel about Chrisean Rock, and how he's always continued to use her. So when I saw this, I figured that he is using her. So then the music video comes out, and am I surprised at this point? No, but the music video comes out, and the name of it is called like baby mama drama or something like that. Yeah, I think it's baby mama drama. And she's in it with her toothless smile, just looking all happy. And then she claims that she did it because she is trying to be cordial for Blueface. Now, once again, she is putting Blueface above her child because, especially since we find out the baby has this huge hernia, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So yeah, she's just out here with the baby around all these people, and it's just out in the open. Like, she's not covering it up. The baby, she's not covering it up at all. It's just so sad. Like, I just feel so sorry for this child because of the environment they're gonna be in. Because as y'all know, I worked with children in the past, and that's something that I'm really passionate about. And sometimes I would see children, and granted, the parents, they would not be exactly like Blueface and Chrisean, not at all, or at least not in public. And they would have so much potential, and they just have so much potential, and it just annoys me when parents don't put in the work to reinforce what the teacher is teaching so they can continue to grow, or just putting them in toxic situations, period, when some of these things are avoidable. Chrisean Rock, she goes to LA again, or she goes to LA. She goes to LA, she has a new house. She shares with all of her viewers, she has a new house, she's excited about it, but she is also screaming, ranting, raving about Blue with the baby in her hand, screaming. And for me, I just feel so sorry for the baby, because that baby is so new. Like, it came out of her pum like yesterday. And she has, when you're upset and you have the baby, they always tell you like, oh, don't stress the person out, you know, when they're pregnant, because the baby is feeling that. And this baby is so fresh, and this baby is like right up against her, and she's yelling and screaming around the baby and upset, and the baby can feel that you are upset. But honestly, this probably isn't a new feeling for the baby, because during the pregnancy she was going back and forth. Like, she was always into some stuff, yelling, screaming. So the baby, unfortunately, might be used to hearing those sounds. Granted, it probably doesn't like it, but it's slowly getting accustomed to it. So Chrisean has this most likely rented house. It's hers that she got with her money, and she gave Blue a key. Once again, I can't even say I'm surprised, because she gave her whole check to him in the past, and she basically gave him money and claims to have left him alone. But I guess the money she's making now, it's just her money. But the fact that she gave him that money just lets you know you really can't be surprised by anything that Chrisean does to support Blue, and apparently Blue's baby mama and their kids. It's a place. It's a beautiful place. It's perfect for her and her baby. And she decides to give Blue a key. Well, Blue got upset that he wanted to give her a key because Chrisean is thinking, oh, it's because his ego. He doesn't want me to have to give him a key. That's what he was talking about. When, let's think about this. If during this time, all this time, he's been getting your checks and he had no problem with it, him getting a key to your house, no. This has nothing to do with the ego. I think this has to do about him having access anytime to the baby. And he doesn't want that access, remember, because he didn't want the baby, and he's told her that he didn't want the baby. So if he has the key, he has no excuse not to see the baby if he has the key. But of course he doesn't want to see the baby because he doesn't want to see Chrisean, and he doesn't want the baby. That's why he doesn't want the key to the house. Instead of being in this beautiful house that Chrisean just got, she decides to go to Walmart, and she brings her dog along with her, and someone took a picture of her, and I'll put it here. And in the picture, as you see, little Chrisean Rock Jr. has no support on that baby, and it is so sickening. No support at all. That grip on the dog leash is tighter than she's holding on to that baby. So this had the internet clutching its pearls, okay? Because it's just disgusting. Like, a baby's bones are still forming, like, for a really long time. The bones are still forming. It's a fresh little baby. So if you get it used to leaning like this on its back, that baby's back is going to grow up. That baby's back will have so many issues if she continues to support the baby, like, or lack of support on the baby's back and neck. And if she does that in public, it really makes me wonder what she does when the cameras are not around, when she's not around people, and it's not like you really can expect much from her. I feel like there are certain things that comes along with being a new mom, and I'm not someone who believes in common sense, because what's common to one person isn't common to another person, because we all grow up differently, right? But she has so many brothers and sisters. I don't think Chrisean is Chrisean is not the youngest child, so she has nieces and nephews, and it makes me wonder, were they all carried like that? Or, like, she definitely seen some babies around for her to know that this is not what you do with a baby. And then again, it comes to initiative and baby books. Even, you don't want to read a book, Chrisean, there's YouTube videos. You can watch something on TV, on YouTube, and they can show you how you need to support a baby. It's just a matter of you looking it up. Everything is on the internet nowadays. Like, there are no excuses. But they do say you don't know what you don't know. But I just feel like, she has all this money that she talks about. She could have hired somebody to help her. So with this going viral on social media, half of the social media streets, they're questioning the baby's safety with Chrisean Rock. And then you have the other half. They're condemning Chrisean Rock for jeopardizing the baby's health. And then others, they're claiming that, oh, she's a new mom. Parenting is hard. It doesn't come with an instruction manual. Parents continuously learn. And it really annoys me. If you're a parent, I'm not coming for your neck or anything, but it annoys me when people who are parents, they discredit people who don't have children when they speak about certain issues. And that's not fair at all, because I can understand certain things, someone having to have experience with children to understand certain things, but there are certain things you don't have to be a parent to understand. Like, for example, I know some people, they say, oh, I'm going to do this with my kid and I'm going to do this with my kid. I think that is something where people mess up, because the kid isn't even here yet. So you don't know what you're going to do. Like, you can say you're going to do whatever, but it's totally different when the kid comes and you see the kid's personality, because what you may expect you're able to do with the child, you may not, that may not work for that child. So you may have to adapt and change. So I get things when people say things like that, and parents saying, oh, well, you're not a parent, you wouldn't necessarily understand this. But certain things you don't have to be a parent to know. You can see certain things and know that it's wrong. There's plenty of teachers watching y'all kids and teaching y'all kids, and they treating the kid better than some of these parents are treating the children. So you don't necessarily have to be a parent to know certain things about, children, the interactions, what's needed. That's certain things, yes, other things not so much. So yeah, tell me y'all's thoughts on that situation. Like, where y'all laid when y'all saw this picture? Like, do you think you think she's an okay parent? Do you think we should give her some grace? Do you think CPS needs to be called? Let me know your thoughts. Days later, Chrisean, once again, she's on live and she's upset because Blue exposed that the baby has a hernia and it's near his pinga. So he's sharing all that, and Chrisean, understandably so, she's upset because she didn't want the world to know this. It's the baby's personal business, so I understand her not wanting the baby to know that. It's both of their children. If he is going to be an involved parent, they probably should have talked about that together before they shared that information. And same with the social media. Like, the social media should have been something that they both decided on if they're both going to be working co-parenting. But if it is just one parent, then I mean, you really don't have to ask, especially if one ends up having custody and the other doesn't. So during this interview, Blue is talking about the hernia. Chrisean, she's upset, livid. Another thing I want to add, when Chrisean is upset during some of these lives, you can hear the baby crying. And I've been around a lot of babies, and this baby cry I was thinking maybe because the baby is young, it's crying like this. But then I thought about it, and I thought about other preemie babies that I've been around. None of them have sound like that, and they were even more premature than Chrisean and Rock's baby. And her baby sounded like a kitten. It was a kitten cry. And it was so strange to hear, and it just kind of made my heart sink when I heard it, because it doesn't really sound right. It doesn't sound how I'm used to younger, younger infants sounding. So that was, it was a red flag for me. When I heard the sound of the baby for the first time, that made me look up more information, because I'm just thinking, why does this baby sound like this? And when I found something online, this does not make me a medical doctor, but all of us have on our little white lab coats, so we started researching. I knew hernias were like, they aren't really major, so that one wasn't a big deal with me, or wasn't a big deal for me. But granted, I did not see that picture. I wouldn't want to see the picture, because I just want to give the baby its privacy, because so many people have been looking at the picture, and I don't care to see it. I was more concerned about that odd cry. So when I looked up that odd cry, I found out that there was something called cat cry syndrome, and it's called cri du chat syndrome, which is cat cry syndrome, cat cry, but in French. And apparently it's a rare genetic disorder that happened because of a missing piece or deletion of a chromosome. And it gets its name from the distinct cry that infants with the disease make. It sounds like a high-pitched mewing of a cow, of a cat. So when I read this, I had to research a bit more, because I'm just thinking, why would... It seems like this is a genetic disorder. So, and it's rare. So it wouldn't be very common. So that would explain why, it sounds weird to people, because it doesn't really happen. But it also means that there's a chromosome missing. So I'm wondering, is it because it's genetic? Because the Google said that it's genetic. But can it be because of the other things that Chrisean was doing when she was pregnant? And a lot of times people blame different issues that the baby may have on the mom. Granted, the mom is holding the baby or carrying the baby, but I think it also depends on the dad, what he's doing, and because he's carrying the sperm. And there's this research that came out recently showing that men also have an effect on people. I'm not sure if I could say it in this video, that's why I'm trying to decide what words am I going to use. But when someone is drinking and they're having relations, they're putting the sperm in the egg. So if you have someone drinking and then you have another person that's drinking very heavily, research found that them be drunk sometimes, and that affects the baby. It really, Blueface, he's blaming the mom. It could also be him too. So I did additional research on it, and when I did the additional research, it showed that the babies, they cry like kittens, but they can live regular, normal lives. What I described was the best case scenario. Articles show that children with the syndrome, they also have difficulty expressing themselves verbally. So they have issues with speech, and they may have to speak sign language or through gestures, and they have poor muscle tone, and they experience feeding delays. I'm not saying that this is what the baby has. I don't want to put that on anyone. That's just what I found when I looked up things like, why would a baby sound like a cat when it's crying? That's something that came up, so I do want to mention that. But this does not mean, for example, if the baby were to have this, it doesn't mean that the baby won't be able to have a productive life, because you can still have the support. I mean, actually, that's the thing. You have to have support. You have to have, initiative to make sure you find the resources available to help the baby. And I'm not sure if Chrisean is willing to do that, because her only love right now seems to be Blueface and Hennessy. Like I was mentioning before, Chrisean got upset because Blueface shared that the baby had this huge hernia when he was doing a podcast, right? So Chrisean, she going on live about it, talking about how she's unpleased with it. Blue also said that Chrisean was trying to avoid the surgery and how she has not been trying to have the baby go to the hospital. And yeah, Chrisean was livid, yelling, crying, all while having the baby in her hand. And this is a newborn, so it's definitely spiritually sensitive. At times, once again, you can hear it crying like a little kitty. Shortly after, Blueface posted a picture of Sean Jr. exposing his hernia, which was in his pelvic region. And he describes it, and people can see it. And some people don't need to have children. They don't need to have children. There are so many predators in the world, and for him to post his child's picture like that it's beyond disgusting. It's beyond, we can't say that word on here, but it's just horrible. It's horrible. And this child has been through so much, and it is only 26 days old. And people, they reported it. They called the police because this definitely needs to get reported. And honestly, people need to report the both of them because it's weird. If she knows that Blueface likes to post everything, like, she should not be surprised by anything that Blueface does now. And once again, I'm not sure if she is all the way there. She does not seem all the way there. She is not making rational decisions. But let me just tell the story, because I'm getting upset, and I really shouldn't be getting upset by this, because it's not like I'm surprised by it, but it's just this innocent baby that has only been in the world 26 days has just went through so much, and he did absolutely nothing but be born and be there. And some of these things happened even before he was born. Like, when he grows up, he is going to have to, one, know that his pinga pic is out there. Two, kids might grow up to see that. Three, look at his parents. His parents are just riffraff. Like, they don't care about him. They don't care. This is not how caring parents act. Posting that picture, that doesn't show that he cared about that child. That showed that he was trying to prove a point. He was trying to get a reaction out of Chrisean, like he always does. He loves getting reactions out of Chrisean. Chrisean loves giving him reactions and getting reactions from him. And that was just another way he could show that he has control over her and try to have the upper hand of the situation, the upper hand over Chrisean. And just so happened, like, this baby is just, and this baby's privacy is just a casualty. It doesn't matter to them at all. Blueface showed this picture to millions, and you can see the huge growth and the lack of a pinga, according to Blue. And he said that this was due to the hernia, Chrisean's behavior, her drinking during her pregnancy, her actions during the pregnancy. And a hernia is common. It's people's kids can be born with her. People's kids can have hernias and they didn't drink or do weed do tree when they were pregnant. I definitely think Blue is trying to spin things around to get the crowd to be upset at Rock. Granted, there are so many things people who really care about this situation could be upset at Chrisean Rock about, but him posting that, it supersedes all of that. Well, I don't even want to say it supersedes it, because it's not more. It's just like all of this together is just, he's busy trying to prove that Chrisean Rock should not have this baby, to take the baby and potentially take the baby. But even if he has the baby, I think he would just be doing it to get back at Chrisean, because he has never wanted the baby. He just wants to have control over Chrisean yet again and be able to get emotions out of her so he can get his narcissistic supply. Chrisean goes on the live. She is ticked off, reasonably so, because he posts this picture of their son. Now, she mentions that it's very P of him. And she mentioned how she thinks that he is, because he's all over Lil Baby, he cares about Lil Baby so much. And this isn't her first time alluding to Blue being gay, because there was one time when the two of them, Blueface and Chrisean, were on Kai Cenat's live, and Chrisean got mad at him for talking to some other guy. I feel like some people tried to like play that off, but it was definitely giving that guy might be his lover, you know? It wasn't giving like, oh, you talking to your friend or you talking to some girl. Like, no, it was definitely giving like, this your lover. So I think that's where that came from. I think I'll put that clip in too. But one thing that she shared that was alarming to me was that he also have pics of his first son's pinga as well, and that kid doesn't have a hernia, so it's weird for you to have pics of your son's pingas in your phone. That's weird. That's very, very strange. I mean, and I think he's already facing some potentially maybe going to jail anyway, so he need to go to jail for that. And well, I don't know what allegedly happened, but I know that he definitely, for this picture, there needs to be consequences for him putting that picture out there. Now after this, Chrisean was recently on live turning up with her Hennessy bottle yet again. I hope she's not breastfeeding in this situation, because I don't know, I just always think it takes longer than what people say. I know some people pump and dump and stuff, but I just feel like it takes longer because people metabolize things differently. It may take longer for the alcohol to leave people's bodies than, you know, what people may recommend or say or find online. But you know, Chrisean don't research stuff, so she could be still, I don't know if she ever breastfed, but she could be out here still having Hennessy and just feeding the baby while she's drinking the Hennessy. Who knows? I don't know what to expect from this girl. And in all honesty, I don't even really think she stopped drinking or smoking when she was pregnant. I don't think. You can tell me what you think in the comment section, but I don't really think she did. But I hope so. I hope so. So now that you are more caught up in the most recent debacles of this saga, let me tell you my thoughts, okay? First of all, you can't trust Chrisean or Blueface. They're both liars. They're both performers. They're both addicted to the clout. So you never really know what's the truth, what's not the truth. But there is some truth in some of these things, and the truth is, this baby, I feel very sorry for this baby. That's the truth. Chrisean and Blueface, they are both performers, they're both liars, and they are both manipulators, but they manipulate differently. Shukran, that means thank you in Arabic. Chrisean, she lacks accountability. She lacks accountability and she lacks initiative. She likes to make herself as a victim against Blue. And it doesn't mean that she's not a victim against Blue, but she also has to have accountability when it comes to certain things, because Blue flat out tells her certain things and she just doesn't believe it. She just doesn't believe it. She doesn't want to believe it when he says certain things. She will do it regardless because she likes the toxicity. She likes the back and forth. And this kid links her to him essentially forever. Some people say for 18 years. No, it links them forever, or she's attempting to try and link them forever. Now Blue, he manipulates Chrisean by being mean to her, and then later being nice to her, or I don't even want to say nice, but being normal, probably like treating her like a regular human as much as Blueface can do that. And maybe do something that she asks of him if she even has standards to ask for certain things. So he does, because he always treats her mean, the moment that he does one nice thing or one regular thing, Chrisean is constantly working to try and get that next normal thing or that next nice behavior from Blueface, despite how he has told her many times that he does not want her. He does not want that baby, and he doesn't like them. He also tries to manipulate the public. So, for example, especially when it comes to the baby, unless it's an absolute emergency, babies don't get surgery that soon after being born. They usually want them to, you know, especially with it being a preemie, they want the baby to grow up more before they expose it to anesthesia and just surgery in general. So with that being said, Blueface, when he presented this, it seems like he tried to allude that the hernia was because of the drinking, the smoking that she did during the pregnancy allegedly. And not saying that that's helpful for a pregnancy, but you know, there's people out there, hernias are common, there's people out there who weren't drinking and smoking during their pregnancy and their babies didn't have hernias. But yeah, he tries to make it as if it is only Chrisean Rock's fault. Chrisean Rock tries to act as if it is only Blue's fault, when in fact they are both the issues and it's both of their faults. So let's get into the baby and how it's been being taken care of and my thoughts on that. The social media streets, they are torn on whether the baby should be with Chrisean Rock, the baby's mother. Some say CPS should take the baby from Rock, and others say nah, she's still learning. But from my experience, it takes a lot to get the baby removed from a home, especially when it's with the mother. Personally, I know of an instance where it took a lot to remove a baby that was addicted to drugs because of the mom from the crackhead's house. This crackhead was not his mom. It was basically, it could have been, it's a lot, but just know that this baby was not with its mom because the mom had passed away, but it was with this crackhead that was related to the baby by marriage. And it took so much to get this baby out of the house with this crackhead. And the only reason the crackhead wanted the baby was because the baby, without giving too many details, the baby was getting a check. So that's why the crackhead wanted the baby, because they were going to get the baby's checks. And that took a lot to be able to get the baby out of that situation. Visits, and the baby, and Chrisean Rock, in comparison to that situation, Chrisean Rock and the way she was holding that baby was not as bad. So I feel like unfortunately there are so many worse scenarios that happen with children that end up getting taken away from people, to where Chrisean Rock in that situation with the baby, not saying they shouldn't watch that situation because it could get worse. They should monitor it, but unfortunately there are even worse situations. And I think the field is short-staffed, it's underpaid, and it's full of it. That's another video for another day. But all in all, it takes a lot to get a child removed from a parent. So I personally don't think Chrisean Rock is going to lose the baby, at least not yet. And I don't think the baby would be any safer with Blueface or Jaden Alexis, because Jaden made this post, and then Blueface, y'all know what's going on with Blueface. Like, he be having strippers in the house, the son looking for food, he asking the son if he's gay. It just doesn't make sense. Why does it even matter if your son's gay? And why are you asking him that at like 4 or 5 years old? Your son shouldn't even know what gay is. He shouldn't even know. And you shouldn't be asking him what gay is. It's weird. Or if he's gay, because it just makes you look like a P word. And honestly, if Chrisean is thinking all these things, and I know she thought some questionable things about him, these are not her first time thinking that Blue is a P or that Blue is gay. These are not the first times. This is probably just the first time it affected her the most because of her baby. And now she's wondering some stuff now. This is not the first time. And the fact that she would have a baby or even be with someone that she has these questions about, or that she even has to question, makes me question her. Kind of like this woman and how she claims she knew absolutely nothing at all, but it really just makes me question, I was gonna say her logic, but she doesn't have any. Like I mentioned before, she has sold her soul. She has sold her soul to Blueface. I'm so tired. I'm tired of seeing them on my walls. Like, it's not like I follow these people. That's what's so strange. I have never seen, I don't even have Zeus TV, but I know these things about these people. I don't have Zeus TV or whatever you call it. I don't have that Zeus network thing. I haven't watched the Crazy in Love show. I haven't seen any of that. But they are always on the For You page. Like, they are getting pushed through the algorithm to where people who don't know them are learning about them, and I don't want to know about them. And that just makes me wonder, like, these kids out here, they are seeing this. Like, Chrisean, she's focused on the wrong things. She's back to drinking, and once again, I don't really even think that she stopped pregnancy as an opportunity to change her image, so a more motherly image, because people were saying, oh, we hope this baby changes Chrisean, this baby is gonna change Chrisean, despite this not being the baby's responsibility to change his mom, not his responsibility. That's weird that people even want to say that. But she could have used, since people have that notion when it comes to people, she could have used that as an opportunity to shift gears towards not being the hood booger that she is. So, for example, she could have had her viewers follow her as she go to parenting classes, trying to, just doing different motherly things. And she's an entertaining girl. Like, I feel like Chrisean does not need to do all of these antics to get people's attention. She doesn't need to do it. She's an entertaining person without the liquor. She's an entertaining person without all of the antics between Jonathan or Blueface and Jade and Alexis. But she doesn't care to do better. She doesn't care to do better. And like I said time and time before, the girl is not all the way there. But she always talks about all this money she has. She wants to give birth on live with chains on. She should have used her resources, her money, to not saying you can't get chains if that's your thing, but make sure you get some counseling, you know, some parenting classes, a book. You can get a book. I feel like every day that she pops in my For You, or, you know, on social media in general, she is doing something to show that she does not love that baby. And I'm gonna tell you 3 situations in which she shows that she loved Blue more than she loved that baby. First of all, she gave Blue keys to her new house. He doesn't need keys to a house that he's not paying for. Lastly, she shows her love to Blue because she mentioned that she doesn't plan on filing for child support. And the reason why this shows that she loves Blue more than she loves that baby is because, first of all, that child support money, that is not Chrisean Rock's money. That is baby Chrisean's money. That is Chrisean Jr.'s money that he's entitled to if Blue is not in the picture. So for her to take that away from Chrisean, baby Chrisean Jr., because she doesn't want to have to deal with Blue, it's just selfish. It's selfish. That's not her money. Granted, she gave Blueface all of her money and started over. Essentially, it technically would be her money a little bit, but at least the additional money that Blue makes, that could be for Chrisean Jr., but she's not signing up for that because she loves Blue more than she loves her son. All in all, I don't think she loves this baby how it should be loved. It's essentially a prop for her. Not saying that she doesn't love it at all, but I feel like she's treating the baby more like a prop than she is an actual child that she should love how it should be loved. To top it all off, Jade and Alexis, the first baby mama, is pregnant with Blue's baby, and it'll be their 3rd child together. Yeah, another battle baby. Yeah, Blue, he gets off on this triangle between the 2 of them. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of all of them. These adults are trash. Adults are trash. These children, they deserve so much better. But tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. I'll talk to you later. Bye.